You wet my whistle yesterday, and now I'm going to read you another poem. I hope you can handle it. Well, I think you can handle it just fine. Uh, this is going to be The Princess and the Pea, except this pea's a little different, but I'm sure you'll figure that out. Have you ever heard the fairy tale read about the princess who felt the pea in her bed? Well, the princess I speak of did not feel a pea or anything Cornish or vegetable-y. The princess I speak of felt the pea that is wet. But we're moving on now because we're not quite there yet. It started one evening when she was out riding her horse. She got caught in a downpour of incredible force. She stopped at a castle saying, "I'm wet and I'm shaken. I'm a princess. I didn't mean to awaken you or your family. But please rest assured my blood is quite noble and I'm true to my word. Just lend me a room till the storm overhead moves while I dry out. Do you have a warm bed?" Well, the queen. Oh, the queen. She was rather unsure. "How do I know if this princess is pure?" But her son said, "I'll help her. After all, she is here, and I've searched for a princess the entire past year." So the prince let the girl in, and she began sneezing. "Sorry, but the rain made me freezing." Now, unlike a test as with the pea, which was tucked under mattresses carefully, the prince heard a real princess could not take the cold. Over the years, that's what he'd been told. So he gave her some soup because her hands were like ice. He showed her the guest room, which she found rather nice. Then he ran her a bath and he lit a nice fire, hoping this princess was real, not a liar. "I'll be back," said the prince. When he was, she was snoring. The prince thought to himself, "Gee, I hope I'm not boring." Then he became worried. Something's not right. A real princess could never sleep through the night. So he went to his mother. He awoke her in bed. "Maybe it's true, all those things that you said. The princess is sleeping, so she mustn't be real." The queen patted his back. "Son, I know how you feel. I'm sorry you got the wrong end of the deal." But on the way into his bedroom, he heard something chatter. Unsure what he'd find, he asked, "What's the matter?" "I'm cold," said the princess. She was freezing and shivering. From then on that night, he had people delivering blankets, afghans, throws, and quilts. To place them on nicely, the prince had to use stilts. Despite all the blankets, she said, "My hands are exposed. I think I feel frostbite form on my nose." So he gave her a scarf for her delicate face and mittens with kittens on her hands just in case. Every time she uttered burr, he'd cover her in vintage fur, otter, bear, and zebra too. It was like a little blanket zoo. Velvet, silks, and fluffy downs from faraway exotic towns. So many blankets, the prince got the feeling he'd need some workmen to remove the ceiling, and then the roof and a few tall trees until the pile of blankets swayed in the breeze. And the princess trembled. "I know it's a chore. I'm still so cold. May I have some more?" Between shipments of blankets, the prince hired a crew. They used cannons and springboards and trapezes, too. The pile kept on growing over mountains and trees. It aimed for the stars. It swayed in the breeze. And the princess just said, "I'd like more, pretty please." The prince soared through the sky in a hot air balloon, adding blankets all night to the light of the moon. Then the whole world fell quiet. It was peaceful and still. It was all going smoothly. It was perfect until the prince heard a faint yelling from way down below. It was the princess in need saying, "I gotta go." No one else heard her, but the prince saw her struggling. She was no longer cozy or comfy or snuggling. She needed to move, but it was just her luck. All the blankets made her totally stuck. The prince called, "Princess, what's the matter?" "I really need to relieve my bladder." The prince jumped into action. He knew what to do. From high in the sky, he assembled his crew. Then he blew his loud whistle and yelled, "Go ahead! Remove all the blankets from the princess's bed!" By trains with chains and hoists and poles, removing quilts of silks and wools, peeling off blankets and comforters too, in multiple colors like green, gold, and blue, red ones and pink ones in various squares. One had strange sloths, one had brown bears. They came off by the dozens until the princess was free. She ran to the bathroom and said, "Please excuse me, I know I'm a princess, but I've got to pee." and she sat on the toilet, truly content, relieved and so happy that she got up and went. The prince ran to his mother and said, "Mom, don't you see? This is just like the Princess and the Pea, except this pea is different." The queen nodded her head. "And not the pea that you want in your bed. I know I'm your mother, but you can do better. Try finding a princess that's content with a sweater." Then there was silence, a peace, and a hush, and they listened to the toilet flush. Unfortunately, it overflows, and that's the way this story goes. Thank you for letting me share, everyone. I'm Abby. I think that was the Princess and the Pea. E-E-P.